What better day for a story as American as apple pie, served up by our Kelefa Sanneh.
In America and in movies and books that I read, everybody went on road trips.
2, please.
Yeah, right over there. Everybody stopped at diners and got slices of pie.
Chef, an apple a la mode.
But I'd like the pie heated, and I don't want the ice cream on top. I want it on the side.
While growing up in Hong Kong, Stacey Mei Yan Fong fell in love with America and pie.
I was just like, I want to do that. I want to go on road trips. I want to move to America. I want to eat pie like every 2 hours when I need to use the restroom.
In 2016, after 11 years of eating pie in New York City, Fong wanted to know more about the rest of the country.
And I was like, oh my God, I could learn about America through pie.
She launched a project called 50 Pies for 50 States.
I bake a pie for every single state because this project really is like a love letter to the country that I've chosen to call home.
Some pies are unusual, like her Oregon Marionberry and pear pie.
It's a hybrid or a type of blackberry.
Some are more traditional, like Kentucky's Derby pie.
A Derby pie is kind of like a pecan pie, but it's walnuts and chocolate in it.
And Tennessee got the star treatment.
Dolly Parton is like the love of my life.
Has she seen this?
I don't think so, but I would absolutely lose my mind to meet her. So yeah, I had to make her out of pie.
Pies in other parts of the world tend to be savory and part of the main course. In America, pies are more likely fruit-filled and served as dessert. And something about pies makes Americans nostalgic.
Whenever my project gets brought up, or if I start talking to someone, they've only talked about like a good memory they've had associated to pie. Like, my mom made me pie, there was pie at a holiday, pie reminds me of home.
One pie has achieved all-American status.
Why do you think it is that apple, out of all the different pies you could bake, why do you think that one has this position in this country?
An apple pie is always filled like so high, right? It's like a symbol of this country's bounty and like what this country has to offer.
We really get in there.
It's like a pregnant belly. You really want to have that perfect round, tuck in any edges that are sticking out so that it doesn't poke through the crust.
I felt this one kick.
Yeah, so it did not kick.
When it comes to apple pies,
if you spend enough time hanging out at a restaurant, if you're really lucky, you can end up marrying the owner. Is this true?
It's true.
I am not a neutral observer.
You're an expert, right?
I am.
And?
Your wife.
My wife. I came to talk to you at work.
Sounds good. The ticket to crimping is this.
This.
Sarah Sanneh has been making award-winning pies
So crimp, crimp, crimp.
for 15 years at her fried chicken shop, Pies and Thighs, in Brooklyn.
If your restaurant had just been called Thighs instead of Pies and Thighs, would people have not felt like they needed to order pie?
Absolutely. This is a lesson in marketing.
The apple pie story is partly a marketing story. The idea that apples were all American took hold in the 1700s in the American colonies.
We have a lot of apples.
They're not native to America,
They're
right?
not native. They were planted and originally planted for cider.
In the 1800s, an evangelist known as Johnny Appleseed encouraged Americans to plant more apple trees, and some of those apples found their way into pie. And during World War II, people started saying, "As American as Mom and apple pie." The simple dessert had become a national tradition and a symbol of American pride.
That's a funny thing about apple pie. It has already achieved perfection. So if you go to the finest restaurant or you go to a diner, there's no like better version of apple pie than apple pie.
Sarah's version starts with a generous helping of Granny Smith apples.
Supermarket apple pies are really flat.
Yeah.
And they fit in those white boxes. Yours,
do.
You need like a wedding cake box.
I like a gap. I like to see the apples were really domed and then they cook down and that the crust has enough structure to like maintain itself without the apples. When you're cutting into a pie, honestly, if you're gonna keep it perfect, the best way to cut it is with scissors, not with a knife. Should we cut one open?
Let's cut one open. Once the scissors have cut the top bit, you use your knife to go all the way down through the bottom bit.
Exactly. This is exactly what we want. It's great.
There it is.
There it is.
This is meant to be eaten with a utensil.
It is. And I think a scoop.
A scoop, a la mode.
A la mode.
The magical word that means, give me ice cream.
It's so good. Delightful.
As we celebrate July 4th, both Sarah Sanneh and Stacey Mei Yan Fong agree you can't go wrong with apple pie. But then again, America is all about options.
What would be your second choice?
Cherry pie. You don't want a cream pie at 4th of July, so I would do cherry pie, still a classic American fruit.
Do you think it's time for our 4th of July pie to change?
It could be whatever you want. Like, 4th of July is your holiday, and you can do whatever you want.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.